There is a profound idea, a message that seems to have been left behind by the ancient world. It suggests that our ancestors encoded their most vital knowledge, not on fragile scrolls, but into the very fabric of their greatest structures. A memory bank made of stone and stars.
Just consider this statement for a moment. It really challenges our modern assumptions about information itself. We tend to see ancient ruins as these silent shells of the past. But what if they were never meant to be silent? What if they were designed as messages for a distant future? Messages built to outlast entire civilizations, empires, and maybe even memory itself.
It all comes down to a fundamental principle, a simple, undeniable truth. You see, libraries can burn, ink can fade, but stone endures. It is one of the only materials that can truly resist the very forces that turn entire civilizations to dust. And in the same way that stone outlasts paper, the layout of a city, its secret blueprint, that can outlast the very language of the people who built it. This was a way of creating a memory that didn't depend on a shared culture or even a shared time. It only depended on universal constants. So, this leads us to a crucial question. Why would anyone undertake such a monumental effort? Especially in an age when written language was emerging, why choose the slow, incredibly arduous process of building knowledge into mountains of stone? The answer, it seems, isn't about ambition, but about a deep, cyclical fear. This was never simply about building monuments for glory. No. It was about creating a fail-safe against total oblivion. You see, ancient cultures often held a cyclical view of time. They had seen the pattern over and over again. Empires rise and empires fall. They understood that cataclysm wasn't just a possibility, it was an inevitability. They were building for the survivors. They were literally planning for the next dark age.
They really had two methods of preservation. On one hand, you have written records. They were detailed, full of nuance, but also profoundly vulnerable. A single fire could completely erase the knowledge of a generation. But built knowledge encoded in granite and alignment, that was different. Its enemies weren't fire or flood, but deep time and erosion. It was a far more durable hard drive for preserving cosmic memory.
And here's the crucial assumption they made. They anticipated a future where their descendants might not be able to read their words or even understand their language. But they wagered that those same descendants could still measure an angle. They could still observe the slow creep of a shadow. And they could understand the significance of a corridor that's aligned with a single distant star.
And this brings us right to the heart of the mystery. If these massive structures are really archives of data, what is the language they're written in? How do you read a building? Well, the answer seems to lie in a code that is universal and absolutely timeless.
You see, this code is written in the language of mathematics and astronomy. It forms a blueprint that's hidden in plain sight, and it's accessible to any civilization in any era that's advanced enough to simply look up at the sky and recognize the silent, eternal patterns of the cosmos. This is the mechanism of the machine. The precise angle of a monolithic wall, the calculated length of a sacred causeway, the intentional alignment of a dark passageway, none of it is arbitrary. It seems every feature was a gear in a celestial clock, meticulously designed to map and measure the movements of the heavens. The methods were as elegant as they were enduring. A single passage, for instance, carved through tons of rock, might be built to channel sunlight into a sacred chamber on only one day of the year, the winter solstice. It marks that moment in the great year, forever. Or the orientation between two distant temples might point directly to the rising of a specific star, preserving its position in the sky across millennia of celestial drift.
And there's a name for this forgotten science: cosmic architecture. It's the practice of encoding astronomical data directly into the geometry and alignment of monumental structures. It repositions these sites not just as places of worship, but as scientific instruments, as vast silent libraries of cosmic information.
So once we accept this premise, our entire perception of the ancient world really begins to shift. We're no longer just looking at ruins, we're learning to see the data that's embedded right there within them. These sites stop being beautiful empty spaces. They become the most sophisticated and resilient memory storage devices their creators could possibly conceive of. In a way, they're the world's first hard drives, just forged from granite and limestone instead of silicon. And maybe this is the most profound realization of all. When we visit the great sites of the ancient world, the pyramids, the stone circles, these silent temples, we are not just walking on old stones.
We are moving through fields of dormant data, information that has been waiting for millennia to be decoded.
And this brings us to a final and, well, a humbling thought. We are only just beginning to learn this forgotten language of stone and stars. It feels like we may have unearthed the great libraries of the past, but we still haven't learned how to read the books.
So it leaves us with this lingering question. As we develop new ways to measure and map our own world, we have to wonder, what other unread messages, what other silent, colossal libraries of stone still lie out there, waiting patiently across the ages for us to finally learn their language?